Chief, I have seen death. I almost cooked ancestors. Uju, crying. I went to Okonkwo's butcher. I asked for soft meat. He gave me a head, Chief. A head. Chief, calmly. Is the head handsome? Uju, confused. Uju, angry. Chief, this is not time for jokes. The chief suddenly grew serious. He sat down. It all began on a quiet Tuesday morning, just as the rooster in the village of Ofufe coughed up its morning crow, and the smell of sizzling oil drifted from compound to compound. Ndubwisi, a well-known palm wine tapper with a large belly and an even larger appetite, sat with his wife under their bamboo hut. Ndubwisi, chewing loudly. This Okonkwo's meat, eh? It's like chewing heaven. Soft like boiled plantain. You see this meat? No goat in Nigeria tastes like this. Wife, smiling. Just eat it and stop talking. You're always praising that butcher more than your wife. Suddenly, Ndubwisi paused mid-chew. He picked up the last piece of meat on the plate, about to pop it into his mouth. He stopped. He looked. His hand trembled. It was a human hand, a whole left hand, pinky to thumb. Ndubwisi, screaming. Jesus, blood of the ancestors, what is this? Wife, running over. Aye! That is not cow, oh, that is human. That is somebody's uncle's hand. At the village palace, Ndubwisi stormed into the village chief's compound, sweating, holding the plate with trembling hands. Chief Alana, half asleep. Ndubwisi, you again? Is it palm wine you're selling at 7 a.m. now? Ndubwisi. Chief, this is not a dream. I bought meat from Okonkwo. And this was in my pepper soup. He lifts the plate, the hand stares back. Chief, blinking. Wait, is that fingernails? Chief leans in, sniffs. Smells like it's been marinated. Chief, seriously. How do you know this is human hand and not goat with manicure? Ndubwisi, offended. Chief, I went to university before I became poor. That is phalanges, not hoofs. Chief, okay, fair enough. Did the meat wave at you? Did it ask for help? Ndubwisi. Chief, be serious. It even has a wedding ring. Chief goes silent, takes off his cap, walks slowly to the meat, bends. Chief, quietly. My God, that's my cousin's ring. Silence. Then Chief stands up, angry. Chief, firmly. Call my guards. Today we go and find out what part of the animal this butcher is selling. Chief Alana arrives at Okonkwo's butcher shop, smiling like a friend. Okonkwo, shirtless, sweaty, with meat blood all over his apron, looks up. Okonkwo, grinning. Ah, Chief, my chief, what brings the lion of Ofufe to my humble meat shrine? Chief, smiling. I came to buy meat, oh. I want the one that makes children sleep after eating. Okonkwo. Ah, say no more. I call it dream meat, very soft. No animal cries when I cut it. Chief, raising eyebrow. No animal cries? Okonkwo laughs nervously. Just saying, it's clean meat. Chief, from which animal exactly? Okonkwo, chopping meat with force. Different animals, forest goats, dry cows sometimes, bush things. Chief, bush things? Like what? Okonkwo, like, things with 2 legs. I mean chicken. Chicken with 2 legs. Chief, eyeing him. Do you ever hunt at night? Okonkwo pauses, then laughs. Ah, Chief, night is the best time to find meat. The forest provides. The spirits send meat in dreams. Chief, so if someone sees a finger in their soup, it could just be a forest offering? Okonkwo. Exactly. You understand me, Chief? You're wise? Just then, 2 men arrive. One has a black polythene bag. The other frowns and scans the shop. Okonkwo begins to serve them, chopping meat into packs. As he bends under the table to grab another cut, one of the men gasps. There's a head, a full human head, in a black bag. Ikenna taps friend gently. Let's go now, whispers. I saw something, a face, inside that bag. Ikenna loudly, pretending, I forgot I'm fasting today. Okonkwo, confused. En? But you asked for 2 kilod? Chuka. He meant fasting from goat meat. We'll come back tomorrow for fish. Okonkwo. But I've packed it already. Look, this one still has flavor. Ekena. We're late for burial. No time. Keep the meat. God bless. They run off. Okonkwo frowns, wipes sweat, kicks the black bag under the table. Okonkwo, to himself, these people are starting to suspect spirits don't like noise. 3 days later in Ofufe village, the sun rose slowly, unsure whether to witness the madness that was about to unfold. Uju, a tall, no-nonsense woman with a loud voice and a love for tender meat, stormed through the village in her wrapper and sunglasses. She stopped by the roadside where 2 men, Ekena and Chuka, were seated under a mango tree, whispering. Uju, serious tone. Please, where is Okonkwo the butcher's shop? I need his soft meat, the one that melts like rain on firewood. Chuka glances at Ekena, chuckles. Hey, sister, are you sure you're ready for that kind of softness? Ekena, laughing. You might end up chewing your own cousin by accident. Uju frowns. What nonsense are you two saying? What does that mean? Chuka, Auntie, we saw something in his shop, something with ears, lips, and eyes. But it wasn't alive. Uju, unbothered. I beg, you people like gossip too much. Soft meat is soft meat. Cow, goat, rat, I don't care. Just point me there. Ekena sighs. Down the road, the shop with the red zinc roof. But don't say we didn't warn you. Uju ignored them and marched down the path, hips swinging like justice. She arrived at Okonkwo's butcher shop and found him polishing a machete. Okonkwo grins. Auntie Uju, as I live and cut meat. Long time, you're glowing like meat in sunlight. Uju laughs. Stop your sweet mouth. Where's that soft meat, the one that makes men propose after one bite? Okonkwo. Ah, the one that makes widows forget their husbands? You came to the right place. He ducks under the table to grab a bag, chuckles, and by mistake grabs the wrong black polythene bag, the one with the head and hand. Okonkwo. Here, 1 kilo, on the house. For you, I even added special meat. You'll dream after eating it. Uju, delighted. God will bless you. I will prepare pepper soup today that will make my neighbors cry from jealousy. She paid and skipped off home. 2 days later, Uju had not yet cooked the meat. She was keeping it fresh in her fridge for the weekend. That same morning, her small cousin, Chisum, opened the fridge to sneak out a mango. He screamed. Chisum. Auntie, why is there a man's face in the fridge? Uju, rushing in. What nonsense are you? She froze. Her body went cold. There, in the corner of the fridge sat a human head. The eyes closed, mouth slightly open. The hand was curled beside it, like it had been sleeping. Uju, screaming. Blood of Elder Ogbonna! I have been keeping somebody's uncle in my fridge. She ran out, barefoot, carrying the bag. The whole village heard her cries. Chief Alana was chewing cola nut and oil bean when Uju burst in. Uju, wailing. Chief, I have seen death. I almost cooked ancestors. Chief stands up slowly. You too? Uju, crying. I went to Okonkwo's butcher. I asked for soft meat. He gave me a head, Chief. A head. Chief, calmly. Is the head handsome? Uju, confused. Eh? Chief. Maybe he only butchers good-looking people. Uju, angry. Chief, this is not time for jokes. The chief suddenly grew serious. He sat down, took a deep breath, and called for his guards. Chief, muttering. Ndubwisi brought a hand. Now a woman brings a head. Okonkwo has built a full human being in pieces. Guard. Should we arrest him? Chief stands. No, we do it my way. Let's go, and bring the boys. Back at the butcher's shop, Okonkwo was slicing meat while whistling an off-key tune. Just as he packed a piece of soft flesh into a brown paper, Chief Alana, Uju, Ndubwisi, Chuka, Ekena, and 4 armed guards arrived at once. Chief, furious. Okonkwo, you have explaining to do. Okonkwo, surprised, smiling. And, my chief, Auntie Uju, you came back. What a day, should I pack more meat? Chuka, shouting. We saw the head under the table that day. Ekena, and he kicked it like it was onions. Ndubuisi. He gave me my brother-in-law's finger as steak. Chief, Okonkwo, what do you have to say for yourself? Okonkwo, calmly. Have you ever tasted meat that sings in your mouth? That's not from cows, that is ancestral meat. Ujayu, covering her ears. I almost fed my children jawbone of a tax collector. Okonkwo, smiling. My forefathers give me dreams. I only follow the map they show me. The forest provides. My knife obeys. Soft meat doesn't lie. Chief, you are mad. Okonkwo, serious. Then let madness be the sauce, because business is booming. The chief turned and faced the gathering crowd outside. Chief to the people. Tomorrow, we gather in the square. This matter needs the whole village. People murmured, stunned and disturbed. Okonkwo, muttering to himself. The ancestors must be laughing. The next morning, Ofufe village square was packed. Chickens avoided the area. The air was tense. Even the village flute player refused to play. The people sat on woven mats, whispering. They say Okonkwo uses meat from dreams. I heard he once sold elbow as suya. Did you hear about the hand? The fridge hand? Uju nearly fed her children's spirit stew. Chief Alana sat under the royal umbrella. Beside him were Ndubuisi, Uju, Chuka, and Ekena. Okonkwo stood alone in front of them, wearing his blood-stained butcher apron proudly. Chief clears throat. People of Ofufe, we have gathered because something soft has become something dark. Meat is no longer just meat. Murmurs rise. Chief points. This man, Okonkwo the butcher, has been accused of selling human meat, and not by one person, but by many. Crowd shouting. Yeah, Uju, loudly. He gave me someone's head. Chief, the meat even had dreadlocks. Ndubuisi. The meat waved at me on my plate. Chuka. We saw a head in his shop? Okonkwo, calmly. Can I speak? Chief. Go ahead, Butcher of Whispers. Okonkwo steps forward. Yes, it's true. Crowd. Eh? Okonkwo. I sell meat. That speaks, that whispers in the pot, that dances in the pepper soup. Chief. Which animal whispers in pepper soup? Okonkwo, passionately. You people never asked me where my meat came from. You only asked for the soft one, and I gave you soft. Ujayu, I thought it was imported cow meat. Okonkwo, smiling sadly. You called me names. Meat god, soft lord. One man once said, your meat tastes like love. Chuka, it tasted like Auntie Rita. That's what it tasted like. Crowd laughs, then falls silent. Okonkwo, voice deepens. My story is not yours. I did not choose this life. The forest chose me. Chief, explain? Okonkwo sits on the ground. When I was 10, I was taken by a spirit. For 7 days I lived in the great evil forest. I ate nothing but roots, and something that cried like a man. When I came out, I was never the same. Uju, suspicious. Is that when you became a meatologist? Okonkwo nods. I saw things in that forest, spirits, ancestors with sharp teeth. They told me, feed the living with the lost. I thought it was a curse. But then, people started loving the meat. Chief, so all this time you were butchering people? Okonkwo, no. Only the ones the forest gave me. Runaways, lost ones, forgotten ones. The forest provides. Ekena, did you butcher Agatha, the tailor's daughter? Okonkwo, no, she was too bitter. Crowd, gasps, then slowly chuckles in disbelief. Chief, this is madness. Okonkwo, madness that made you lick your fingers for years. Uju, angry. You tricked us into cannibalism. Okonkwo, you begged for it. Give me the one that falls off the bone. You even gave me awards. Ndubuisi, you served me my cousin's hand with yam porridge, you animal. Okonkwo, and did you not lick the plate? The crowd was silent. Chief Alana stood, face trembling. Chief, low voice. I have one last question. Okonkwo. Ask it, Your Highness. Chief. If we had not found out, would you have continued? Okonkwo. Only until I served myself. The crowd gasped. A single tear rolled down Okonkwo's cheek. Okonkwo, voice shaking. I didn't want to live anymore. I wanted to feed you one last time and vanish. But now, I've been caught. The forest is angry. The ancestors are watching. Suddenly, a strange wind blew through the square. Dust spun in a circle. A child screamed. Uju, clutching her chest. Spirit wind, spirit wind. And Dubuisi, holding his belly. That meat is fighting back. Chuka. I told you I heard voices in my stew. Chief Alana looked into Okonkwo's eyes. Chief, I should have listened when I saw the ring. You served me my cousin. Okonkwo, I served you love, and now judgment. The guards approached. Chief, take him to the forest. Tie him to the Iroko tree. Let the ancestors judge. But the guards were ready to tie him. Okonkwo pleaded. Please, Chief, let go hunt and bring the soft meat, so that I can prove people. I don't butcher human, please my butcher for wild meat, please. Chief, grinning, okay you to confess to us. Now, make it a promise. Okonkwo, confessing. Today I shall enter the great evil forest and return with a lion, or at least a rabbit wearing a lion costume. Villagers paused. Even the chickens stopped pecking. Okonkwo, that forest is cursed, cried old Mama Neka. You're cursed, Okonkwo fired back. He grabbed his bow, tied his grandmother's wrapper around his waist like a superhero, and headed into the forest with one eye open, one shoe missing, and a chicken named Sergeant Pepper for emotional support. But nature had other plans. After just 10 steps into the forest, a mosquito gang attacked. Ewo! These mosquitoes have tribal marks, he screamed, swatting the air like he was dancing a zonto. Sergeant Pepper clucked unbothered. Suddenly, a monkey dropped from a tree and slapped his bald head. Ouch! Wait till I do you. Is this monkey on steroids? The monkey grabbed his bag of chin-chin and vanished. I paid 300 naira for that chin-chin. Then came the parrot, who followed him, repeating, Ni Okonkwo is lost. Okonkwo smells like expired ogiri. Poo-poo head, poo-poo head. Shut up, he yelled, throwing his bow. It hit a tree and bounced back, slapping him in the face. The forest echoed with laughter. Then it got worse. He stepped into a swamp, and suddenly something squishy wiggled under his feet. Jesus of pure water, what is that? A frog the size of a bucket jumped on his face. I'm under attack. Help! Frog has entered my nostrils. He ran in circles, tripped on a root, and landed flat inside a muddy puddle, face first. Sergeant Pepper just clucked judgmentally. Covered in mud and frog spit, Okonkwo sobbed. I only came here for rabbit meat. Then, a snake hissed from a tree. He fainted. When he woke up, fireflies were dancing around him like disco lights, and a squirrel was peeing on his forehead. Okonkwo woke up to something cold licking his ear. Mama, is that you? No, it was a hyena. A real-life, mouth-smelling, joke-laughing hyena, just sitting next to him, smiling like a hungry uncle at a wedding buffet. Oh God, I'm in my meat now. He jumped up screaming, only to bump into a porcupine who poked his behind. My nyash, my precious nyash. He ran, dragging Sergeant Pepper under one armpit like a handbag. The hyena laughed behind him. Oga Hunter, why you they run like fowl? Because you have teeth and no shame, Okonkwo shouted back. After a wild dash, he collapsed beside a tree, panting like a broken generator. Suddenly, the air changed. Fog rolled in. The forest became silent, too silent. Not even the parrot insulted him anymore. Then came the sound of ancestral drums. Bim! Bim bim! Brrrr! Ka-ka-ka! The wind swirled. The tree leaves formed a spiral. And then they appeared, his ancestors, glowing faintly, floating like confused balloons. 5 of them, all frowning. First was Great-Grandpa Onwubiko, wearing only one slipper and smelling like snuff. Okonkwo, you have disgraced our hunting lineage. Then came Mama Uche, who looked like she could still beat him with a ghost broom. "Na lion you go find, na porcupine find your buttocks." He knelt, shivering. "Ancestors, please!" I didn't know the hyena had jokes. Cousin Emeka, the short ghost, shouted, "Why you enter this forest with a chicken and chin-chin? Is this a picnic or mission?" Uncle Tobias, who died from eating 14 bananas, laughed. "You can't fight mosquitoes, but you want to catch lion?" Okonkwo cried like rain, "Please, just take me home. I've been slapped, bitten, stabbed by nature, and insulted by a parrot." Mama Uche raised her ghost walking stick. "You shall return, but promise us, no more lion talk." "I swear, I won't even kill cockroach again." Suddenly they began chanting, "Ancestors Uber, take this clown back to town before he drowns." Whoosh! A big wind blew. Whoosh! Thunder cracked like a drum set. Trees spun. Leaves flew. Chickens fainted somewhere in the distance. Okonkwo vanished from the forest. Poof! He landed face first in the middle of the village square, right inside Mama Neka's pepper soup pot. Jesus! Who dropped this man in my soup? Ah, my eyes! Okonkwo screamed, soup dripping from his ears. Goats ran. Women screamed. One toddler offered him groundnut in confusion. He stood up slowly, wearing mud like perfume, soup on his eyelashes, and a broken sandal hanging off his neck like necklace. Sergeant Pepper landed beside him, perfectly clean, and clucked in disapproval. The village exploded with laughter. "Okonkwo, you went to fight lion and came back as pepper soup ingredient," shouted Chief Madu. "Is this the legendary lion hunter?" a teenage boy asked. "No, ooh," said another. "This is the squirrel survivor." "Look at his Nyash," shouted someone. "Porcupine redesigned it," someone else answered. Okonkwo couldn't speak. He just stood there, trembling, holding on to Sergeant Pepper, his beloved chicken, like she was his last shred of dignity. "The wild meat," he whispered. "I had it, but Dadna, my ancestors, snatched it from me." The villager stared, confused and furious. "Snatched what? From where?" Chief Alana stood up, veins bulging. "Okonkwo, explain yourself before I season you like you seasoned Musa." Then Okonkwo dropped to his knees and shouted, "Yes, I killed Musa, even Jessica. On Christmas Day, she was the special holiday meat. I've been doing this for 15 years. The crowd gasped so hard, a baby started crying from the shock alone. People clutched their stomachs. One man began retching beside the palm tree. Uju collapsed in a dramatic spiral, screaming, "I ate my neighbor! I ate my neighbor!" Even Sergeant Pepper covered her beak. Chief Olana, shaking with rage, raised his staff. "Gods, arrest this demon. Let him rot in prison until the ancestors unsubscribe from his madness." As they dragged Okonkwo away, he cried, "It was soft meat. You all loved it." But no one cared anymore. From that day on, no one called him Okonkwo the Butcher. He became known as Okonkwo the Forest Meat,